They don't need the spotlight to become power icons. These women quietly built empires that the world bows to. From steel to technology, from cosmetics to parliament, their power goes far beyond the numbers in their bank accounts. Let's explore the top 10 richest women in India, and the number one will surely surprise you. Number 10 is Cvitri Jindal, the $38 billion queen of steel power politics. Let's talk about the kind of wealth that makes billionaires look like they're playing with lunch money. We're talking about Cvitri Jindal, India's undisputed queen of steel, a woman who turned a family tragedy into a $38 billion empire, and who now controls not just boardrooms but political chambers. In 2005, when her husband Jindal, founder of the Jindal Group, died suddenly, everyone expected her to step back, sell the company, grieve quietly. But Cvitri, she stepped up. She took the wheel of a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate operating in hardcore male territory, steel and energy, and didn't just hold it together. She scaled it to heights that would make Wall Street jaws drop. Today, the Jindal Group builds the backbone of India: steel, power plants, and infrastructure. The company's market cap is so massive, it could make your head spin faster than a Tesla Roadster. Not only is Cvitri the richest woman in India, she's the only woman in the country's top 10 wealthiest. Picture that. One woman among a sea of suits, and she doesn't just hold her own. She leads. In a culture where business still plays by boys' club rules, Cvitri walked in, took charge, and basically said, "Move. There's a new sheriff in town." And just when you think the plot peaks, it twists again. This billionaire business titan ran for public office and won twice. In 2005, she took a legislative seat in Haryana. By 2013, she was a cabinet minister. That's the real-life equivalent of a CEO running Amazon while passing national policy and still making it look effortless. She's 75 now. Most people her age are slowing down. Cvitri? She's overseeing an empire that spans continents. Steel, energy, education, transportation, even aviation. Yes, aviation. Her company owns a private airport in Odisha named after her, Cvitri Jindal Airport. What makes her story magnetic isn't just the fortune. It's the fire. Cvitri didn't build her empire from scratch. She took the reins of a legacy and made it legendary. So what can we learn from Cvitri Jindal? Well, that age is just a number when the mission is massive. That true wealth isn't about the billions in your name, it's the mark you leave on the world. Cvitri Jindal didn't just inherit a business. She built a kingdom. Comment Cvitri if you like her. From steel to science. But now, get ready for a woman who redefined beauty in a billion-person market at age 50. Number 9 is Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, $3.2 billion biotech queen saving lives across Asia. Let me tell you a story that sounds like it came straight out of a Hollywood script. In 1978, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw launched her biotech company, Biocon, from a garage in Bangalore with just 10,000 rupees, barely over $100. That's not a startup budget, that's spare change. And to make it worse, banks didn't want to lend to her because she was a woman. Let that sink in. She had vision, grit, and a plan, but no one would bet on her because of her gender. But Kiran wasn't just building a company. She was building a mission. Her first product, yeast. Yes, beer yeast. People laughed. They called it crazy, but she didn't flinch. She knew she was onto something far bigger, a vision that would eventually transform Biocon into Asia's largest insulin producer. Fast forward to today, and that little garage-born startup is supplying life-saving medication to millions. Biocon now operates global-scale manufacturing facilities, including a massive insulin plant in Malaysia running round the clock to meet global demand. And while Kiran's net worth has soared to $3.2 billion, her true legacy isn't in the billions, it's in the lives she's changing. she's not just in it for the money. She's on a mission to make healthcare affordable for those who need it most. From cancer treatments to autoimmune disease therapies, Kiran is turning cutting-edge science into accessible solutions. And when Biocon faced a crisis, a product contamination scare, she didn't fold. She doubled down, invested in better tech, raised the bar, and came back stronger. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Kiran is using her success to uplift others. She funds scholarships, promotes STEM education for girls, and champions women in science. She's not just breaking barriers, she's removing them. And when she's not in the lab or boardroom, she's curating one of India's most valuable collections of contemporary art. Because for Kiran, legacy means culture too. And speaking of reinvention, what if I told you a tech genius is quietly taking on Google and Microsoft from Chennai? Number 8 is Farali Nayar, the $2.9 billion beauty mogul. At 50, most people are thinking about retirement. Farali Nayar was thinking about revolution. A seasoned investment banker with a prestigious career, she stunned India's corporate elite by walking away from it all to start an online beauty store. In 2012, she launched Nykaa from a tiny Mumbai office, betting on a future where Indians would buy makeup online. At the time, e-commerce was barely a whisper in the country. Everyone thought she was crazy. But Farali wasn't guessing. She saw what others missed, a rising generation ready to shop with a click. Armed with financial savvy and razor-sharp instincts, she built Nykaa into a beauty empire. And in 2021, when Nykaa went public, her wealth exploded by 963%, catapulting her net worth to $2.9 billion. Farali didn't just create a company, she shifted a culture. In a market where consumers insisted on seeing products in person, she convinced millions to trust a screen. It's like selling perfume without scent. She didn't just crack the code, she rewrote it. And she did all this after 50. Nykaa became more than a marketplace, it became a movement. With curated products, smart tech, and a brand built on trust, it turned into the go-to beauty destination for 1 billion people. Farali proved what few dare to believe: ambition doesn't expire. In a society that often sidelines women past a certain age, she stood up, started over, and dominated. Comment Farali if you like her. From quiet power to historic legacy, the next woman owns a mansion that once belonged to a nuclear legend. Number 7 is Radha Vembu, the $3.3 billion tech powerhouse. While Silicon Valley grabs headlines, Radha Vembu is quietly rewriting the rules of global tech, not with noise, but with brilliance. She's the woman behind Zoho, a tech juggernaut headquartered not in San Francisco, but in Chennai, India. And while you may not know her name, there's a good chance you're already using her products. Radha Vembu didn't burst onto the scene with venture capital fanfare. She started as a product manager and steadily built her influence, one line of code, one smart hire, one breakthrough product at a time. Today, she oversees more than 45 enterprise products, including Zoho Mail, Zoho Workplace, and Zoho CRM, a lineup giving tech titans like Google, Microsoft, and Salesforce a serious run for their money. In 2021, Zoho's revenue blasted past the $1 billion mark, and Radha Vembu's net worth surged by 127%. Now, in 2025, she's sitting on a $3.3 billion fortune. But you won't find her on the cover of Forbes or chasing spotlight interviews. She prefers the background, building, innovating, and leading. And that, perhaps, is her greatest power. While the tech world grappled with layoffs, stock crashes, and PR crises, Radha Vembu focused on what mattered: people and products. Zoho is known not just for its tools, but for its deep commitment to its employees. No mass firings, no flashy perks, just meaningful work, community living campuses, and job security in an industry notorious for burning people out. And when it comes to product innovation, Zoho doesn't play catch-up. It leads. Its mail platform rivals Gmail. Its CRM tool has sales teams leaving Salesforce. And with AI and blockchain integration on the horizon, Zoho's edge only sharpens. Radha Vembu is proof that quiet power is the most enduring kind. That you can build a multi-billion-dollar tech empire without Silicon Valley's blessing. That innovation knows no borders and doesn't need to shout to be heard. She's not just building software, she's reshaping what it means to be a global tech leader. One product, one principle, and $1 billion decision at a time. Next up, the widow who saved her husband's failing company and then rewired a nation's education system. Number 5 is Smeita Krishna Godrej, the $11.1 billion heiress living in a historic mansion. What do soap and rocket engines have in common? One woman, Smeita Krishna Godrej. As a key shareholder in the $5.2 billion Godrej Group, Smeita controls 20% of a family empire that has lasted over 126 years, longer than most countries have been independent. With a current net worth of $11.1 billion, she ranks 22nd on Forbes India's 100 Richest Tycoons list as of October 2024. While others chase headlines, she commands power from behind the scenes. One of her boldest moves? Purchasing Merangir, a 13-room, 3-story mansion in Mumbai's Malabar Hill, for $50 million. Once home to India's nuclear icon Dr. Homi Bhabha, the estate is a symbol of intellect, history, and unmatched prestige. Today, she resides with her husband and children in a penthouse at Grand Paradi Apartments, one of Mumbai's most luxurious addresses. But real estate is just a reflection of her deeper influence. Under her watch, the Godrej Group has evolved from making locks and soaps to producing aerospace components for India's space missions. From home goods to high science, this company isn't just keeping up, it's shaping the future. Smeita's leadership blends old world legacy with forward-thinking innovation. She's not loud, she's not flashy, and that's exactly why she stands out. In an era of noise and rapid churn, she plays the long game, preserving family wealth while quietly modernizing its reach. Smeita Krishna Godrej proves that real power doesn't demand attention, it commands respect. She's not just maintaining a legacy. She's redefining what it means to lead one of India's greatest business dynasties in the 21st century. From beauty to biotech, retail to rocket engines, these women aren't just rich, they're rewriting the rules of wealth. Number 3 is Renuka Jagdani, the $5.6 billion retail queen turning Dubai into her global empire. If you've ever wondered what it takes to build a retail empire from the ground up, not just survive, but dominate, then let me introduce you to Renuka Jagdani, the silent powerhouse behind Landmark Group and quite possibly one of the most formidable businesswomen on the planet. She's not just running a business, she's commanding an army. With over 50,000 employees spread across 21 countries, Jagdani oversees a sprawling $6 billion empire that covers everything from fashion to furniture, from hospitality to food. That's not a company, that's a global machine. And at its helm, a woman who started not with a corporation, but with a single small store in Bahrain. One store, now a multi-billion-dollar force of nature headquartered in Dubai. As chairwoman and CEO, Renuka Jagdani isn't sitting in a tower watching others move the pieces. She is the strategist. For more than 2 decades, she's crafted every major move, opening markets, scaling operations, diversifying product lines. She saw opportunity where others saw risk, and in doing so, turned Landmark Group into a household name across the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. But what makes her story even more remarkable isn't just the scale, it's the soul behind it. With a net worth of $5.6 billion, Renuka could have easily rested on the luxury that comes with power. Instead, she's known for her commitment to community, philanthropy, and employee well-being. She's built a company culture as refined and seamless as the brands she sells, where 50,000 people know their place, their value, and their purpose. Renuka's brilliance lies not just in her business acumen, but in her uncanny ability to predict what people want before they even know they want it. Clothes? Check. Home decor? Of course. Food? Why not? Every sector she touches becomes part of her larger, calculated ecosystem. This isn't luck, it's legacy building. She's proof that true power doesn't just wear Prada, it owns the mall, designs the layout, and runs the show behind the scenes. That's legacy in action. But the next woman? She didn't inherit a business. She built a global empire from a single store. Number 2 is Anu Agiye, the $4.7 billion widow who saved a dying company. Think inheriting wealth is easy? Anu Aga's story will change your mind. She didn't just inherit a company, she stepped into a financial firestorm while grieving the sudden death of her husband. In 1996, her world shattered. Her husband, who had been leading Thermax, one of India's top engineering firms, passed away without warning. But instead of breaking down, Anu stepped up with zero corporate experience and took the reins of a company on the verge of collapse. Thermax was bleeding money. Most executives would have panicked. Anu got to work. She made cuts. She sold off the dead weight. She restructured from the ground up. No business background, no formal CEO training, just raw grit, heart, and a mind focused on survival. And survive she did. Under her leadership, Thermax didn't just recover, it roared back to life, with revenue growth so dramatic, it became a Harvard-worthy turnaround story. She took a sinking ship and turned it into a billion-dollar juggernaut. Then, in 2004, after leading the comeback of a lifetime, Anu didn't cash out. She handed the company over to her daughter, Mihir Pudamji, keeping the legacy alive right in the family. And did Anu retire? Not even close. She pivoted to a new battlefield, education. She co-founded Teach for India, an initiative aimed at transforming the futures of underprivileged children. Not content with just funding change, she's been on the front lines, building, reforming, mentoring. And in 2012, she took her mission even further, stepping into India's upper house of parliament, the Rajya Sabha, to push real policy reform. Today, Anu Aga's net worth stands at $4.7 billion. But you won't see her flaunting it. No yachts, no red carpets, just action, passion, impact. Anu Aga didn't just rebuild a business, she reshaped a legacy and redefined what power looks like when paired with purpose. She's living proof that you can build wealth and still change the world and feed a nation with the cake you earned. And finally, the billionaire investor who plays the stock market like a chessboard and owns a piece of India's biggest companies. Number 1 is Renuka Jagdani, the $8.6 billion stock market empire. When Renuka Jagdani, India's legendary big bull, passed away, many assumed the story ended with him. But his wife, Renuka Janjunwala, had other plans. She didn't just inherit wealth. She took control of a $8.6 billion fortune and turned it into a living, breathing stock market empire. And she's not sitting back, she's actively growing it company by company, stock by stock. Renuka now holds stakes in 29 companies, from the luxury watchmaker Titan, to automotive giant Tata Motors, to financial powerhouse Canara Bank. It's like owning a piece of every major industry in India, only instead of shopping at the mall, she owns the entire street. But here's what sets her apart. She's not just preserving her late husband's legacy. She's evolving it with her own mind, her own strategy, and nerves of steel. Managing a fortune of this size isn't for the faint of heart. The stock market isn't a straight road, it's a roller coaster. Yet Renuka navigates it like a pro, making bold, long-term plays while others panic. No flashy day trading, no gimmicks. Just strategic, compounding growth. the kind that quietly builds billion-dollar forests from million-dollar seeds. And while she plays the market like a grandmaster, her life off the trading floor is equally jaw-dropping. Rekha resides in a 14-story villa in Mumbai's Malabar Hill, worth a staggering $44.6 million. She recently added the adjacent Rockside TS property for another $14.2 million, expanding her footprint like royalty reclaiming land. In 5 commercial buildings across Mumbai worth $89 million, and it's clear this is a woman building a real estate portfolio as mighty as her stock holdings. Her garage? A Mercedes Maybach S600, an Audi Q7, and a BMW X5, because when you're managing billions, you arrive like you mean it. Renuka Jagdani isn't just inheriting wealth, she's rewriting what financial power looks like in a world still dominated by men. No CEO title, no boardroom speeches, just quiet, explosive dominance, and a playbook every investor should be studying. Which of these powerful women surprised you the most? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Like this video, subscribe so you never miss a new story about the world's most fascinating people. Thanks for watching.